to recording. I am pleased to announce I think I fixed it. So if you all, who wants to demonstrate joining a group and then selecting the discussion, because I think I got it connected now. Who hasn't joined a group yet? All right.
I haven't.
All right. Who is that? Who gets my
Gianna.
heart?
Donnell.
Gianna.
Wait, we were
right.
supposed to join the group. I'm so confused what's
right.
happening. I was on break
Me
and then
too.
I came back and then you
You're
stopped.
fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine because we're about to demonstrate. Donnell, will you please do it? Because Gianna already has one heart for me today. You've already worked hard for me. Donnell, will you share your screen at the bottom center and show
Yes.
us how to join a group and do that discussion? Oh, I think you got to turn your camera on, dude, because we're just seeing your icon right now. There. Now share. Oh, it went back to your icon.
Dang.
So the
Okay, how do I
share,
share it?
it's at the bottom center. It's a green button. It says share screen. And then you choose your desktop or your D2L if you see a picture of your D2L.
Okay, I see it.
Okay. And then we should be able to see it. But there it comes. We're seeing it now. We see screen broadcast. Here's Rohan. Yay, Rohan. Oh, so are you on your phone or?
Yes.
Okay, so this might be difficult. We'll try it. So he has gone, he's clicked the link, and everybody who has not yet done this should do this. In your D2L, click the link to which reading technique do you use assignment, which will take you to hopefully this discussion board. If not, you can go under other tools at the top, drop down to groups, and he's doing it on a phone, so it's a little different. Yeah, it's not. Okay, so there's the bonus dig. We're not doing that yet. We're doing the reading technique. And it looks like the first 3 are full. So you will join group 4. So you click where it says join group. And now you can actually click on the link that says which reading assignment. Do you see that?
Yes.
Click that link. And what is it? So you could start a new thread. And you're going to put what you do. And I think you told us you like to read out loud or.
Yeah, eliminate distractions and read out loud.
So in your subject line, put the thing you think is most important. That's like a title, you guys, like title in your piece. You're given the main point right there. Good. And then
do I put both of them or just?
You could do both up there, but in the body, you're gonna explain how do you eliminate distractions. What, you turn your TV off, you put your phone in the drawer. What do? You know.
Okay.
So you don't have to do all of that. Is there anyone who's having trouble joining a group and then going into the discussion? Because I want to give you all 5 minutes to post.
I joined a group, but how do you join the discussion?
All right. Can you stop sharing, please, now? Once you join your group, there are columns, right? And it was the 3rd column over, I think, that actually says which reading, and it's hyperlinked, and you click on it. If it doesn't work, tell me.
So it says which reading. When you click on it, it opens up the
share your screen for us, Haley, so we can see what you're seeing, because we did a phone just now.
Oh, I see.
It says start thread. So I'm
assuming you could start a thread. You can start a thread. So you put in your title, like he did, what you think your main thing is for when you have to read for a test or whatever.
I'll share it anyways.
Okay. So yeah, you scroll through all that, which is just the assignment.
If you're in the group, we click this.
Good. Once you get your group, you can click that and it'll take you to start a new thread.
I see it.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, this wasn't here before, so it was just empty and said start a new
Oh,
thread.
good. Well, maybe it takes a minute to catch up because I just fixed it. Maybe I had to refresh for you. So now you can start a new thread. Or you can reply to Seth. If
How do
he
you
had the same.
reply?
Click on the title of the thread.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then go down to reply thread.
Reply.
You'll see it right
Okay.
there.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys
Yeah.
are really doing a great job helping me teach this because I don't
Okay.
usually use discussion boards. I don't like them, but I'm trying to make it work for us.
Okay.
All right. So if you obviously you can't tell from his title there. It doesn't say how he focuses. Reading out loud is what it should say.
How many of them did you want us to reply to?
You don't have to. You could start your own thread or you can reply to somebody who's basically said what you said. This is a
Oh.
really fast down and dirty just to get you used to going to groups and then choosing your discussion. Because that's how I'll try to do them. If we do discussions, I'll try to do them so you're in groups and you don't have to see a bunch at once. All
We're
right.
just required to comment on one or put our own.
Well, if somebody said exactly what you were gonna say, you could just reply and say, this is what I do too, and maybe add your own twist to it or whatever. Like I have to make sure my
Gotcha.
TV's off or whatever. Or you can start your own thread, doesn't matter. You'll get your points as long as you do your subject line. Subject line counts, people. I'm trying to get you used to thinking about what's my main point and put that in your subject line. So Seth, you're gonna wanna go back in and change that to get your points for this assignment. Or do another thread.
I'm
Take a
sorry.
look.
Can you repeat that? Do you have to have your own thread or?
No, you don't have to have your own thread. If they have said in their subject line what you would say, you can do a reply and then just add your own twist to it. But look at how we get the points, people. Look how the points break down because I try to be really transparent with that so you can get the maximum points. And that's what I use to grade it. So we're going to that one. Oh, this one right here. And I have to go under edit so I can see what I wrote, but it'll list exactly how you're going to get your points right in the assignment. So take a look at that. So what it's telling me is that I get 6 points if I answer both questions. So I have 2 questions. Which technique do you use when you have to write about material? Is there another tool that you use that works for you? So if you want at least 2 techniques to get 6 points, and then change your title to reflect your main point. Or you can reply to somebody who has a good title that reflects your main point. And that's worth 4 points. Good? Everyone
After
clear?
you want us to mark it as completed.
And then you
in
go
the-
back into the assignment, mark it as completed so you can progress. Yeah. Not all of them will keep you from moving forward, but there are certain things that have to be completed. I want you to have completed before you try to do. For instance, we have an exercise 1 and an exercise 2. And I don't want you doing exercise 2 until you've completed exercise 1. That makes sense, right? And that'll also help you keep track of, did I miss something? So you don't miss any assignments by mistake. Cool. Are there any questions? All right. I will shut up for like 2 more minutes so you can finish your posts. Okay, guys, you have, you can finish it anytime today. You've got a good start. You know how to access it. So I'm going to move on to our first assignment. And I'm sorry, Sam, we couldn't figure out how to get hers printed. And for those of you who were unable to, because you just registered and didn't realize you had to print, you might just want to take some notes during this part. So I'm going to share a PowerPoint that I did for my Comp 1 class, but we're going to just take pieces of it. Can you see something that says Chapter 2 techniques? Darian, can you see Chapter 2 techniques? Am I sharing the right screen? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Are you
good.
gonna post these in D2L as well, or is this just?
Sorry.
Are you gonna post these are these in D2L like the PowerPoint?
I think what I'll do is give it to you if you have problems with the assignment. I did put a link in our announcements, but I don't want, I'll probably take it out again because it actually goes into your homework assignment. It gives you the answers. So that's why I'm doing it piecemeal here. I'm just using this part of it and then I'll take it out again. But if you have trouble with the first one, I will definitely give you this PowerPoint to help you. We're doing it live though and in person right now. So in our book, the pages I didn't make you struggle through, aside from remove distractions, they list a number of ways that you can read. One is something they call SQ3R. Is there anyone familiar with this SQ3R stuff? It's pretty highfalutin, let me tell you. It's pretty in-depth. You look at it from so many different, I don't think you guys are going to have time to take this approach in most of your college reading. So I'm not going to teach you that. But if you're interested, especially if it's for something complicated like philosophy or something deep that you have to really get into, you might want to look at that technique in our book. Then there's this thing called MAP, or I've heard it called cluster or webbing. Anybody use this when you brainstorm maybe for papers? My artistic people tend to like that visual. They're like bubbles. And you can use it for your reading too. You can put like the main points you think are popping up. I can't do that. So I'm not going to teach you that. The only way I can do that is if I actually do one of the other ones first. So I'm not going to teach you that. But just to let you know, if you like the bubble mapping stuff when you brainstorm for papers, you might like it for when you read, and take a look at that section. The outline is what I call old school. This is what we used to do back in the day, because nobody taught reading techniques. So what you would do is just make notes on what you read. And the best way to do that was to do it in a formal outline, which I'm going to show you. And nowadays, or once my reading started to become too much and I couldn't handwrite all those notes, I switched over to underline, and I want to show you how the two are similar, how underlining and taking notes can actually take the place of a formal outline. And then there's this thing called a double entry in your book, which is again very thorough. And again, I don't think you're going to have time to do it unless you really want to dig into something, like you have a major project that's due over the course of half a semester. Then you might want to do double entry reading, where you just write what you think are the points and then your opinions. Again, I think all that's going to get covered under the technique I'm going to show you, which many of you probably already know. So to begin, I wanted to introduce you to a formal outline, which is what you see over on the left here. I'm going to do this as a slideshow so it makes sense. All right, so when we outline, we have basically a 1, 2, and 3. The 1 represents your intro, your 2 is your body, and your 3 is your conclusion. You guys know this. You know that when you write, basically the formula is you have to have an introduction first, then you do a body, and then you have to wrap it up with some kind of conclusion. So what's in the body? Your points, your examples, your explanation of whatever point you're trying to make in the paper. And so those become 1, 2, and 3 in an outline. What you may not know is the A, B, C, those stand for the paragraphs. So some introductions, most introductions are just one paragraph. But in some of the readings, especially more in-depth reading, you could have multiple paragraphs before they finally get to their thesis. They may have to give you a lot of background explanation or give you an example first, and then they get to, what they want to talk about. And then the numbers under the A, B, and C are actually for each sentence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you're doing this, you're reading somebody's work and you're outlining, you're actually trying to record basically what every sentence is under paragraph A, under paragraph B, and you do the same for the body, like that. So what does that look like? Here's the first example for those of you who have the handout. Don't write on it yet, but I just want to show you what outlining this would look like. So the first sentence says, I had heard rumors about it before I ever left college. And once I moved into the dorm, I realized it was not just a rumor, which tells me basically nothing. Okay. Because I never find out what it is in this first sentence. But being the good student that I am, I recorded as, okay, this is her introduction. This is paragraph A. And the first sentence says basically that there are rumors before college and now she knows. So you just shorten it to notes, basically. And so I'm recording basically what's already here. Then I go to the second sentence, which says, I needed a way to combat the freshman 15, that dreaded poundage resulting from combination of late night pizzas, care package cookies, and cafeteria cheesecakes. So I sum that up as wants to lose the freshman 15, I put in quotes. And then a note to myself, I wrote it as weight. I didn't include any of the examples because I'm just writing notes over here. I'm not looking for those little bitty details. The next paragraph is my roommate and I headed to the gym where weight training rooms were filled with student chain gangs sweating and clanging their way through a series of mechanical monsters. So I know the mechanical monsters are the equipment, right? And the chain gangs brings to mind of people really being punished. But it's very metaphorical. That doesn't go into my notes over here. I just say roommate and her went to U gym, the university gym. Lots of students lifting weights. That's basically what's happening in this sentence. So I just shorten it. The next sentence says, as I looked around, it became obvious that people work out for quite different reasons. So she realized people WO for diff reasons. And then I get to what I assume is her thesis statement. Thesis statement tells me the point she's going to make. In this case, she's going to categorize the different reasons people work out. And so her thesis is she comes up with 4 for health, for toning, for because they're athletes or because they're bodybuilders. So now I expect her first body paragraph will be explaining how she deduced that some people are what she's calling health enthusiasts and how that's different from people who want to tone or athletes. So in fact, that's what she does. So this is what it would look like if I were handwriting notes beside my book and I did a formal outline. And the next part would be her body, because this is she got to her thesis in 1 paragraph. So now I'd go to 2, and then I would do the first body paragraph would be A, and the first sentence would be number 1, etc. Now, what happens? Oh, I was going to have you guys try to outline this, but I think for the sake of time, I won't have you outline it. But this is the next paragraph. So this would be item number 2. And there are 6 sentences. I counted them so that you guys could fill those in, but you don't have to do that right now. And in fact, she does talk about those health enthusiasts. She doesn't say health enthusiast, blah. She actually just mentions health, improving health here, maintaining or improving health. So I know that is her paragraph about the health enthusiasts. And what makes them special is that they usually do it for 20 minutes 3 times a week to maintain their health. So notice I looked at just the first sentence and the last sentence because that's where we're going with this eventually. I went ahead and did this for you guys. Strong abs decrease, that's the second one. And so that you could check to see if you could do it, but we're not going to do that in class today. So how does it look when you underline it? This is a shorter, easier way to do it, but you're trying to do the same thing. You're trying to get the gist, just the gist. You don't need all the details, just the gist. So you try to pick just the most important things. And now I want you to try with your pen and your piece of paper, or for those of you who couldn't print this out, I would like you to just pick up keywords and write them down. The keywords. So we don't want whole sentences. If you underline everything, you will have to reread everything. So you don't want to do that. You just want to pick up enough that you can figure out what that sentence is saying. So everybody try it. And I'm going to stop sharing it. I'm going to actually draw. Well, no, I'll wait for you guys and then I'll do it. Because I have a cool gizmo that'll enable me to do this. Try to get my gizmos to work here. There we go. Okay, even if you're not done, you'll get the idea of this. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, good.
Yes.
Because I switched things around here. All right, so the first sentence
Could you
says,
move your mic a little farther away from your mouth?
too loud, huh? I'm too loud?
Oh,
How's
no, it's
that?
just like scattering. That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Really weird. Okay. So the first sentence was, I had heard rumors about it before I ever left college. And once I moved into the dorm, I realized it was not just a rumor. And I told you, really, I didn't get anything out of that because she doesn't tell me what the rumor is. So the only thing I really picked up was college. Let me choose a different color that's prettier. Yeah. Oh, that's a highlighter. I don't want a highlighter. pen color. I usually use blue. Okay, so college. But if you picked up something about rumors and, or not just a rumor, that's okay. Okay. I didn't really, because it didn't tell me anything about the rumor, I didn't think it was worthwhile. So I just picked up the fact she was in college. That seemed important. Next sentence is, I needed a way to combat the freshman 15, that dreaded poundage. Now, I know what the freshman 15 is because it reminds me, we had it, my dorm was Bursley, and we called it the Bursley 15. But also in COVID, you've heard people say they picked up 15 pounds. That seems to be the going thing. But the real point is the poundage, right? So you would choose one or the other. Don't choose both because they both are saying the same thing. She's just saying it in a cute way. She gained weight, right? Poundage. So combat. Maybe needed a way to combat poundage. Again, we don't need all the details of how she got fat. We do want whoever's involved, my roommate. I like to circle my ands and my ors because it cues me visually that there's more than one thing there. And I'm just going to say university gym. Training rooms were filled with students sweating and cheating. Now, we don't want to pick up mechanical monsters because that's metaphorical, but we might pick up training rooms. And then I go to the next sentence. People work out different reasons. Just so you can test yourself here. And then we've got 4 different reasons. So I'm going to number them. That makes it easier for me. 1 is health enthusiasts. 2 will be training devotees or toning. 3 are athletes and 4 bodybuilders. Excuse me. Wish I could have some water. Okay, so how'd you do? Do you have questions about why I didn't underline something? Check with me now. All right, I think I need to take a break because I didn't really take one when you guys did, and I gotta go get some water. But before I do, I'm gonna leave up. Oh, that's right, I don't have a mouse right now. What do I do? I switch this. So before I do, I want to take you to, you have on your assignment, you have another paragraph, right? You've got the second paragraph. I want you to try this, and I'm going to show you what's too much and too little when we get back. So I have to turn this off so that the recording will convert. So anybody who does not have this printed out, you can take a little snapshot of it right now. Let's see, how do you do that? Does anybody know?
F2.
Huh? So that you can read it and figure out that these both are the same paragraph. I'm going to show you what's too much and too little in a minute. Okay. But I'm going to have to get out of this and out of this. And then no, I don't want to do that. Just want to shrink it. And close this down so I can go get some water. So I will see you guys back here in 10 minutes. You can do the underlining on your break. Same link.